Don't show off. Don't ever show off in life. Don't ever show off. If there's any advice, and I've seen it for people over and over again, is that you know the interesting about people who like to show off, they're so vain. They really are. They're so vain, and there's only so much you can do. When that day you die, your body is going to be considered a carcass. Okay, that's all it's going to be, and it's going to decompose and it's going to rot and all this other stuff. There is so much that people will do to dress up something that is dying every single day, and they totally bypass the inner sanctum, that real, the person living inside the body. That is the person they bypass, and they give way too much attention to that carcass, right? They give way too much attention to it, and it is it, because it's generally just a bunch of organs, and it is important. I mean, the Bible said we're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you should take care of it, because if you want to live in this existence called the earth, you better take care of the vehicle called your body, right? But it's interesting to watch people who actually try to get attention through outer means. Like you got some people who park. They got their, let's say they got their classic car or their fancy schmancy motorbike or whatever. Or they will, and I've seen this. I've seen people leave the garage door intentionally open, even though they don't have considered for a second that somebody could be actually casing their home to see what they have that's expensive and gonna target them to steal it. They don't get that, right? That's why Jesus says, don't let your possessions be here, for your life is not consistent in the abundance of the things you possess, right? And your worth is not dependent by it, by the way. When you see people flashing a lot of what they think is a lot, if they have to flash it, they're looking for attention. And when people are looking for attention, if you see them on Facebook and they have to post old pictures of when they looked good compared to how they look now, they're lying to themselves. They're lying to everyone else who's watching it. Liars in any way, shape, or form are going to come out into your environment in transaction wise. They're going to lie to you too. They're not going to be upright. They're not going to be forthright, and they're not going to be completely honest with you. They have to lie. Liars lie to themselves first before they lie to other people. You pay attention to what you are thinking is flashy as to for you to get that attention, because it doesn't matter. You can come and go. Jesus said something interesting. He said that you are those who seek honor one from another. And it is such an interesting thing to see people seeking all of this attention from people who can give a rat's whatever about you. And they get turned on either by what they see that you have, that they would like to have the same thing, okay? Or they get turned on by what you have and what they can probably take from you. One way or the other, it's not a win-win situation. So it's never ever a good thing to throw out your stuff and thinking that stuff is going to make you have the accreditation and the praise in life, because it won't. It won't. You don't ever want to join the society of hypocrites, people who are two-faced. And hypocrites are two-faced, 3 faces, 4 faces, 5 faces, because a lot of times they hide behind the veil of deceit. They're really lying to themselves. It's a very hard thing too to actually have to be in any kind of friendship with a person who's deceitful, because a lot of times if you were to come up and they don't see you, you see them, you'll notice it's kind of a grind on the side of their face, and they're not happy. It's something about them, something, and when they see you, they either perk up and whatever, But you know, somewhere deep down inside, they're very empty, shallow, void. There's not much going on in there. Unhappiness, unhappiness is a very hard and a cruel master for those who lie to themselves. It really is. Anyone who lies to themselves and lies to other people will never ever find happiness. They usually, a lot of times, especially from people who are really good for them, they'll see through them. And sometimes you just got to turn and walk away. And they're usually left alone. They end up with acquaintances, with fans, but they'll never have somebody who will actually be there, because the truth of the matter, they're not there. They're not there. So they'll never notice somebody who's literally solid, that's right there, who care for them. It is so sad. It's a very sad commentary in the human race, because there's only so many people get it through life. It's not that uh, other people can't, but seeking any kind of credit, accreditation from the wrong places, or any place for that matter, means that you've went looking for it in the wrong place. And you should never, your value should really come from God. God established value through his son, Jesus Christ. And he said, anyone who comes to me, I'll give him life. I'll give them life. It's something that starts to happen inside of them. And with that life, through the very presence of the Holy Spirit, you get to have love, joy, peace, long suffering, kindness, goodness, meekness, gentleness, faithfulness, self control. And that's the last thing I'll end with this. What God's element of the fruit of his character, the fruit of the power of his spirit, is for you to have complete control over that person that lives inside you, that's hungry for something that you'll never ever be able to find in the outside world. Your world should always start from the inside. Get your inside right first, and man, you'll find, you know what? It never mattered anyway in the outside, because a lot of times what people have in the outside is passed away. Jesus has said that their clothing eventually rots. Their gold and whatever, or their jewelry ends up basically becoming was it um, it gets stuff on it, stain on it, or it basically rust, right? But you hear where I'm going with all this, right? So let your attention be towards God, and let God be his attention towards you. And you know what? The best attention you can ever seek in this life is seek out the attention of God. Let God, let it be that you have God's attention, that you let God know and you show him through your life. The man, I want you to look down on me and say, that person I like. I like that person. Have a good day. Like and subscribe. Thank you.